Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is the daily color in Small Victories, finishing up the boat. It is episode 300. I'm always excited to see what image gets the pleasure of being at a big increment of numbers. So 300 gets to be the boat. I felt to me that yesterday's exploration of the water was like the focal. So the boat is going to be colored somewhat quote unquote normal boat-ish, and I have, of course, for me, a normal boat is still got at least 20 colors. I'm going to start filling in as we go. I am on a tight schedule today because today is the second coloring group meeting, and in a little bit, a little less than an hour, so I will be keeping my time here pretty tight. But again, I know that the boat is going to be pretty simple. All of the elements are fairly small, 1 to 3 colors. The only interesting combo is I did pick 5 colors for the variations of the walls of the house, multi-story house. And then I didn't even grab a green, you know, these shrubs. I did the mock-up last night in bed while resting before going to sleep, and I did not grab a green. If you hear some side noise, Hub is actually in the room today, and he cannot guarantee that there won't be any sounds, which is not a problem. So there are the windows. Oh, forgot the main window. So I will not be coloring the shrubs because I am not going to look for the greens. And it might even be okay to leave them uncolored. We'll see. And that is just a single yellow, not working on any shadows or highlights or anything. I have there's 2 different kinds of life rings. There's these 2, which could be maybe bumpers, but I'm going to color them. Oh, I forgot to show you the color of the yellow. Yellow was number 2. The red that I picked for the life rings, 109. This has not even been sharpened yet. Here is what they look like. They're kind of a squared off sharpening. It almost, I don't know if it's done by machine or not. I always assume that everything is done by machine these days, but who knows? Who knows? I looked up photos of life rings and they are like a deep orange. So this was my deep orange. The barrels on these are not a good indicator to follow. You have to look at a swatch. So I have like a mini swatch. It was one of my very early swatches done on the Nina solar cover copy. That's super smooth. It is my Copic coloring paper and card making paper, card stock, I should say. So the colors on that little card that I folded, the colors are a little bit muted because of how smooth that cardstock is. I do have 2 grays, so if we have time, I can do some extra shadow work. I have picked Florida Keys tropical colors for the house, and I will share them with you very soon here. I'll have to erase that. I got a little carried away with the line. Over the line, All right, so I have my electric eraser here. It has green on it. I do advise, if you use an electric eraser, check and clean it in case it's a strong color. There you go. That's good enough. I'm trying to make sure that, oh, look how tall that is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move my camera up because eventually I want you to see the flag. There we go, the whole boat. Oh, a little more yellow that I forgot. We have the lantern. I really love Johanna Basford's lanterns. They're very sweet and whimsical. The body of the boat, the upper part is white, sort of a glossy white. So I'm taking 2 grays that I grabbed, both cold grays, a 62 and the darker 27. My light source is off to the right, like over here. You will see that play out as I get more elements colored in. All right, so I have my 2 grays, and they are going to be the shadows on the white part of the boat, and the lower part of the hull is going to be wood. I noticed with the Brutfuners, I hope you guys can see, I'm not zoomed in as close as I normally like to be. There's a little resist on when I try to take color really close to the black line, especially with this gray. I see a little bit of a resist on that. So that is just something to note. Now I'm just doing less of the darker. I am gonna have to sharpen this gray one. I'm sharpening it again. When you first sharpen these, they catch on the 4 edges, the squared off edges, but then they get really smooth, so they sharpen nicely. These little dots that Johanna has along this part, I am using as an indicator of some shadowing. And then the lines on either ends also act as shadowy indicators. All right, so that is it. I'm also going to, while I have them here, I'm going to do the roof lines a little bit. I'm excited to share with you the colors that I picked for the house. Oh, look, I forgot that yellow. The round light, or the round window. So, I don't know if I should call this a castle or just a three-story house on a boat. A floating houseboat or a floating castle boat. So the back side here has more gray. The cones were fun to figure out, these conical roof structures. Now I'm going to take the dark and do just a little bit. All right. I'm going to show you the shutters and trim pieces first. Shutters and roofs. We're going with Mediterranean blue. And I have my colors reversed. I don't know why I chose to go light to dark, bottom to top, and then I always show them the other way. So 37, 35, and 36. We will start with the roof with the most detail, the tile roof. At least I'm assuming it is a tile roof. And I'm going to do the two cones. It's a little bit of speed coloring today. I'm keeping linear on this roof in hopes that it will produce a somewhat metal, very smooth surface appearance. These shutters are going to be very bright. Same here. And then just for giggles, I wanted to add some sort of blue on this bigger structure. So I have two areas of blue. I'm going to do a trim line here. And then this. Okay, so that's all of the darkest blue. Moving to the middle blue, which is 35. I hope you're seeing the curve happening on the tile. That is my goal, is to make it curved. So we have smooth conical shape, like a very smooth metal surface. We have tile that is curved. We have shutters that are horizontal. So we have all sorts of shapes that we're dealing with here with the blues. I might have to go back to darken up the tile with the dark. For now, I am going in heavy pressure with this middle blue. It is always fun to me to use the different, whether I do straight lines, I do curled lines, I try to make it really smooth, I try to make it rough, and try to emulate a surface appearance, whether it's like natural or man-made. Having something look curved versus straight, it's kind of fun. Then we have, I'm going to go ahead and make this flag. Also be blue. I'm popping in a little bit more of the dark and putting a little dark here. I do have a hard stop at just under 45 minutes. So I did really enjoy playing with the blues last night. Oh, and I forgot to do my light source is off to the right. I am kind of trying to attempt to have the louvered look for the shutters. Back to the middle blue. Oh. And all right, let's finish off with the light blue. Light blue being 37. I even wonder when I see all of these different textures in the roofs if that was Johanna's intent, was to give us options for playing with different surfaces, roof surfaces. And then of course this one wall, I just had to get a little more blue there because it doesn't have a roof. Heavy pressure. right. I'm getting a gray because I forgot. I have these stilts. Now these funky stilts, I made all 3 of the legs. This has 2, this has 2, and then there's, so it was hard to put together which lines had to be shadowed. So I think it's 3, 2, 2. You guys can interpret this area however you would like, but that's how I did that one. And then just a little bit of gray on these very backmost skinny stilts. Okay. I believe for the moment I'm going to leave the roofs as they are, and I'm going to grab the house color. What goes good with the Caribbean bright blue? Our pool area where I exercise every day was part of my inspiration, because that is the wall we stare at when we are exercising and watching our instructor. So here's the color scheme. I'm going to get them all in the right order. The barrels are not a good reference. Okay, we're going with coral. We have 13, 51, 70, 108, and 7, and I have this many because I am varying the colors on the various walls. All of them are going to be shades of this coral color, from very soft. I'm just starting blocking in the soft ones. There's 2 of them, and then there are some sun sides that get very light. Then I am going to start here with our darkest color, which is even a light orangey red almost. And I'm going very soft with it. And this top here is pretty narrow, so it's going to be quite dark. Moving to kind of the main color, the main bright color here is 108. I do envision this as stucco, so you will see that to create the varying colors of the rough stucco surface, I am using circles. I've been burnishing this today, or yesterday and today, so I will be pushing hard to fill in the tooth. That is my goal, unless it's white because of the highlighting from the sun. It will be hopefully toothless. Uh-oh. Okie doke. Okay, this is the middle tone, 70. This dental detail, I'm doing vertical. So I have two lighter colors than this. And I will go back and add them as needed. I don't know what those little diamonds are. I think I was supposed to put gray on the outside. So there is the roughed in coral color palette. And then the hull of the boat. And there is one wood roof element and two wood crates. I didn't grab, I could have grabbed one or two more wood tones for the crates. They are right here. There's two of them. So my colors are quite dark. I only have 3. And this again, of the 5 salmon-y coral colors, this is the middle, it's the pinkest. And so I'm kind of getting it everywhere. And then I'll go in with darks and lights from here. In fact, I'm going to go one darker because I would like to make sure that this is nice and dark over here. Don't forget your eraser if you need to lighten anything up. The Mono Zero is just wonderful. I just love the aha moment with new colorists. 2 ladies came who have not colored ever. One of them does own a set of pencils. She's never opened it. And when I said, in your little, I give them a cup, and it has a variety of tools, you know, not enough to overwhelm them, but just a few, you know, an eraser, sharpener, and a brush to brush off the crumbs. And they get a piece of glassine, because I just don't know when people come to color. Their hands might have the pH balance that will discolor the paper or their coloring, and so I want to teach them good habits from the very beginning. And when I said these erase like a graphite pencil, they just couldn't believe it. So they thought that was pretty cool. And we colored together. They mimicked everything I did. And in the end, we all created some fun pumpkin-y looking elements with windows, and it was a freebie from Johanna Basford, and it went really well. Everybody enjoyed themselves. And then we had somebody who has been with me from the very beginning, and she just came back. So this is the month when people are coming into town for the winter. So it was a lot of fun. Okay, there are all of the fascias for this castle slash floating house. And the last element that I do have before we do the wood, you'll see some tooth, like I see some tooth here, and I will come in. I do have the lightest. I don't think I even used 13. 13, I can come around here and smooth everything out. I use it similar to how I would use a white or a blending pencil. And hopefully you can see that it is eliminating the tooth. Because it's stucco texture, it could be toothy. I could decide to leave it with some texture, and that would also be okay. All right, what are we going to do with our, I'm putting all these away. I am working on, by the way, I stopped and restarted the filming, so I now no longer have an accurate measure of time. So we're just going to go till it's done and hopefully not take too long. I want my bricks to be red, so I have this deep red. It is number 8. And then the darkest coral can be my light color. At this point I had so many pencils, it's like I don't need any more pencils out. Okay, and then just a tiny bit of this, I think it's number 7. Let's grab our wood pieces. 3 woods. Doesn't go light enough. I just went with 3. So we've got, it's really hard to tell. Okay, so I am using the tips to tell me between 23 and 117. It looks to me like 117 is the lighter one. And then the lightest, I believe, is 24. So let's just start with 23. And I am going to work, we can still see our flag. And I'm just going to do, yeah, this is the darkest. And I am going to streak along the wood planks of the hull. The front of the boat will be with the most light. I can go in the direction of the planks or in ovals. I'm kind of doing a little bit of both. Staying away from the front because I want that to be a lighter color of brown. I've got these crates. This is very dark for those, but like I said, I didn't want to get, I had tons of colors out at this point. Here's a little wood, like a roof, I think. And I'm doing vertical lines to match the direction of the wood. I've moved to the middle color, which is 117. I actually think that's very light. I'm going to try 24 and see if 117, see this is where with the Brutfuners you cannot trust the barrels. Yeah, so 117, there's how dark the barrel is. Here is the color of 24. 117 is the lightest. Okay. And I'm probably going to let everything be pretty dark back here. right, we have lots of tooth to fill in. I'm going to now grab the lightest color that actually looks like the darkest. 117. Lots of long horizontal lines here, burnishing. Moving to the front. Again, I hope this all is in focus. I wanted to get the whole boat part in frame, and so it's almost too far up for me to see. So all right, there's the hull of the boat. And now we're going to finish this roof line, if that's what this is. I'm not really sure if that's what it is. And then this little smokestack. There's these two little dots. And I hope it's not blurring when I get my knuckle in the way. We have this cute lantern stick, and then we also have potentially gold or bronze lantern. We have the crates. We have the rope. And we are done. I actually really enjoy kind of the smaller bits and pieces that don't get all really complicated and need a lot of texture to them. And I just think that looks so cute. So what I haven't done that I will save as a surprise, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. I do not know. Does anyone have suggestions? Let's move down to the last remaining part of the image, and that are these tendrils. What are those? So, shrubs, tendrils. Not really sure what to do with these. I don't think they're rope. I definitely think they are a tendril element. So I could make them ropey colored, maybe lighter. I was thinking maybe gold with some variation. Let me know what you think. And before the weekly review, I will color those in. I'm just going to really quickly grab 23 to do some dark rope bits and some really dark shadows back here. If you struggle with your objects that you're coloring looking flat to you or muddy, go darker and lighter. Make your lights light and your darks dark. That is what helps make your images pop. I always tell myself that, and like I said, my husband is my gauge, and he will always tell me darker. I kind of just pretend I am him looking at this, evaluating for dark enough darks and light enough lights. All right. I see that. I want this to be softer. That is it for today. It was a quick one, quick and easy, but lots of fun colors. Do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And we will be starting another project tomorrow. I am not sure. It's probably going to be the owl. Tomorrow is a good day though. So tomorrow would be a good day for the owl. So I will work on that, and I hope to see you all there. Thanks for coloring with me today.